Hey everyone, Madzom8ie here. We are so close to the launch of Luigi's Mansion 3 next month. Luigi's Mansion 3 launches on October 31st, right in time for Halloween, and you know how I'm going to be spending my Halloween this year. We've got a lot of good games coming out this year. When you take a look back on what's releasing this year, we got Link's Awakening, we got Luigi's Mansion 3, we got Pokemon Sword and Shield, we had Astral Chain, not too far off. We had Fire Emblem 3 Houses. We've had a lot from Nintendo this year. Not those big, high dollar franchises we know Nintendo for, but we got a lot of big games this year, and I'm here to tell you why Luigi's Mansion 3 may just be my game of 2019. I just want to start out by saying that we're not all going to share the same opinion on what our 2019 game is. Originally, I was going to do a video on which game I thought was going to be the 2019 game, like the best game, but in reality, we're all going to have different opinions, and each different game is going to be our own 2019 game, so I thought, why not do what my 2019 game will be? Each of these games that are coming out this year have their own kind of style of gameplay. You got Link's Awakening, you got this 2D kind of old school exploration cave game based on, obviously the Link's Awakening game. We got Pokemon on the long-running franchise of catching Pokemon, exploring worlds, training them, leveling them up. We have Fire Emblem Houses, that kind of RPG type 3D game. And then we have Luigi's Mansion 3. It's this giant building with full of puzzles and exploration and just spookiness. It's just all that fun stuff you do in that. So off the bat, I can already tell you that Luigi's Mansion 3 is, in fact, going to be my game of 2019. And don't you worry, I have my reasons, and I have very well intention on telling you those. First off, before I even go into details on why I think this game is so great, I would like to tell you how I got into it and why I'm so interested in Luigi's Mansion in the first place. I've known about Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube for a while now, and I always want to go back and play those classic GameCube games I never experienced, like Super Mario Sunshine, some of the older Mario Parties, Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube, all those games like that. And now recently, even the Animal Crossing game on the GameCube. And also, I later on figured out about the Dark Moon on the 3DS, which I could have gotten, because I had a 3DS for the longest time, but I never did. But this whole new Luigi's Mansion 3 game Nintendo's been really pushing. I was there watching the Direct when it was announced, and I've known about past Luigi's Mansion games, and I want to try them. And this one just looks really, really good. It's so easy to absorb people's, opinions and then kind of make them as your own. But I think this game looks absolutely amazing. Some people weren't happy that it was a hotel, but I think that gives a lot of layers on what you can explore and a lot more possibilities. Because the mansion's only so big, but if you have like a hotel, you have different rooms you can explore. And you can theme it differently. Some things I will nitpick on are that I would like for it to be a lot darker. Kind of give that spooky vibe. But obviously, now, Nintendo, they're out of that kind of era. They're in a more like, they're heading towards more focusing on adults too, but they're also still catering to the kids. You can't really release a Super Scary Mario game with Mario being this really family-friendly character franchise. But just looking through all we've seen, I've been really worried Nintendo was going to spoil a lot of the game. That's why I'm so scared to watch their videos, but I'm also like, I want to see more content. But the Direct really just like, I've been interested in trying them, but then I see a new game comes out, and then like, a new game is coming out, and I really just grabbed my attention. And something you really realize or notice when you first see it is the colors. Just how vibrant they are, how polished the game looks. I mean, one scene, like, you'll see, like, oh my gosh, King Boo, he looks more like his older counterpart from what I've seen. And just his colors, his eyes, it gives that really spooky vibe, which you people want from Luigi's Mansion. That's what had its charm back on the GameCube, was the spookiness, the kind of dark rooms. But obviously Nintendo can't really do that now. But I think they could have gotten away with, dimming the lights more, and they won't necessarily make the ghosts scarier, because you can't really do that, but I think if you could at least make the main ghost you face like the way they are, kind of like tone down the goofiness a little bit, but also have the boss fights and have them a little spookier. The ones you won't encounter too often, but just enough where you really get that spooky, feel of the game. I think that would have worked very well for them. But what they did, I'm really enjoying. It looks very, very interesting. The colors are absolutely amazing. Just the way they designed these rooms, definitely a lot better how they were when they started. Another thing I'd like to touch on that they haven't went too much into, you get the bits and pieces of it, but I'm sure there's a lot more to the story Nintendo's not letting on, which is the story to Luigi's Mansion 3. So far what we know is, the classic story. Luigi wins this grand hotel mansion, the old classic formula they do. And I love the opening cutscene. If you saw the E3 footage of just the demo of the game, you'll see that they're in this cool bus, like a toad driving around. It has that good wackiness, goofiness, the toad kind of driving crazy down the little path. That's okay. I love that kind of goofiness. A lot of people aren't fond, again, of the ghost goofiness. I didn't, like you said, you can really absorb people's opinions. I don't dislike it, but I can see like how it really takes away from the spookiness and the point of like what Luigi's Mansion was built on. So I can totally see that. But there's that kind of wackiness you see in the intro with Toad just driving, kind of wonky on the road, and Luigi just sleeping in the back seat while Peach and Mario are in the front, and just the whole opening I think is absolutely amazing. Instead of, just, oh, Luigi won this mansion, he just pops up in front of it. I think that's a lot better than doing that for sure. And then after that, what we kind of learn is, they're introduced to the hotel, and from what it looks like, from different kind of cut in and outs Nintendo's given us, it looks like Luigi falls asleep and then wakes up, and the hotel's taken over, which I think is really cool. I'm sure they'll probably kind of add more into that. But the fact that you have to go around each floor and get the next button for the elevator is absolutely amazing. You have a task. The way they went about it compared to Dark Moon, which I've heard is, you go to a certain floor, you complete a task, you leave, you go to the next one. People weren't really fond of that. The way they're doing it here is it's one open exploring just hotel where you can go wherever you want, like the classic game. But you have a task, which is, obviously beat the ghost in the room, move on, explore it. There's a lot to explore. There's like these little achievements you can collect for bonus content in the game, and also there's all these little monies you can collect. I'm sure it's kind of like the classic game where you just add to your total in the end. Kind of nice little cool spin on of Mario games, like with coins. But the whole task, like it's a simple task, but it really lets you explore these rooms and collect these different things, and there's like so many different possible areas you can explore. One thing that kind of concerns me, I'm not too sure about right now. I'm sure, it's silly and you can play it single player, but a lot of things look like it's going to require Luigi. I'm not sure exactly how that works. It may add to the difficulty a little bit if you're playing by yourself, which I'm sure people will appreciate, but the story is just absolutely incredible. Just the way you explore and all the possibilities you have, I think honestly is incredible, the way it's set up. One thing I really want to throw in is how I absolutely love the multiplayer in this game. How Nintendo's putting the extra mile in this game to really adding this extra content for a single player game. I mean, usually in single player games, the multiplayer is not that good. Like with Super Mario Galaxy, yeah, you can, play as someone who throws Stardust at people. Super Mario Odyssey, you can be a cat, but like, what? In this game, in the main story, you can be Luigi, and you can play as a main character, and you have different abilities, which makes you unique, and you actually will matter in it and really add to it. And also, just all these cool mini games they have in the game, like Scare Scraper, which I think is absolutely amazing. The fact that the team, I watched the Treehouse, and they were saying how they made them different rooms, have hallways all connecting to make it feel like more of a exploration to get to these rooms, instead of like the Dark Moon where they're in one area, which I think is absolutely amazing. Because I definitely would get that feeling that you're in one area and it's not that fun. You feel like you're just running in circles. So I absolutely love that they're doing that. And also this other cool one they just revealed, which was a team of Luigis and a team of Guigis, where they're doing all these cool tasks like getting targets and riding little floats in the water to get money and all these other cool little games that's in this single player game. Usually they're so not that good, but just seeing what Nintendo's doing for it, I absolutely admire. and the fact that it's gonna be online too. You don't buy it for this, but it's the fact that it's there. You can really respect, and you can really just take in what Nintendo's doing for this game, and the direction they're taking it in. Not everyone's happy with it, but I feel this is a really solid step in the right direction for Luigi's Mansion. As you can tell from my explanation and my just passion you hear me pouring out, I am very excited for Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm sure a lot of you guys could figure just without watching probably a minute of the video, knowing that I was going to say Luigi's Mansion 3. I mean, I'm just excited for this game. I love how it's coming across. I love how it's the process they made in it, and also just the gameplay they show, and just the whole atmosphere. And if you watch the PAX East, you just see how spooky it is when you finally, if you lose, just King Boo, you're in that portrait, and it says goodnight. That's a more family-friendly way to go about it, but you get that spooky vibe, that hidden meaning behind it. It's so crazy, and I just love that spooky vibe. I actually watched it today, and it's so cool. But yeah, I'm going to end up getting Pokemon, of course. Pokemon's going to be a must for me because that's my first mainline Pokemon game. It's going to be Pokemon Sword. So I'm really excited for that. I'm excited to explore, collect Pokemon. I love the fighting aspect. If you ask Brian, you'll know that I've hopped on Pokemon Quest a few times because I wanted to kind of experience that a little bit more, but I haven't played in a while. But I'm so excited for the Pokemon game, for my first one. Of course, I'm most likely gonna get Link's Awakening because it looks very interesting and very fun. A little fun game to play. It'll be like Kirby's, what's it called? Kirby's Allies for me. It's one I'm not really interested in getting, but it'll be like a little cool exploration game. I'm sorry for those who I just been comparing them. I think Kirby's Allies was a good game for my first Kirby game. But that and Three Houses I'm not interested in. I don't think I'm gonna get that unless my friends really want me to get it. Then I'll try it out. And Astral Chain, again, not really interested. It looks really fun, but not one I'm really going to look into getting. But Luigi's Mansion 3 looks absolutely amazing. It's definitely my game of 2019. At least I think it is. Right now, it definitely is. So what will come down to is playing the two games. I still think, just the exploration, the spookiness, just it being a Mario game. I know. I'm very open, and I'm trying new games with the Switch, but it just appeals to me just straight away. But Pokemon is a very strong contestant, so you guys will definitely hear from me if you follow me on Twitter or even my Discord server. I do have a Discord server now, so if you're in there, you'll definitely hear my opinions on that. But as of right now, Luigi's Mansion 3 is my game of 2019. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please do consider subscribing and leaving a like if you enjoyed. I do, again, like I said, I have a Discord server now. If you'd like to join, the link is in the description below. It's active, karaoke nights, marshmallow time, like marshmallow, music time, all that fun stuff. We'll have a fun time there. Watch it grow together. And if you haven't followed me on Twitter already, I do have a Twitter account that I am very active on. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what games you guys are most excited for in the comments below. I would love to hear it. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.